call tonight's meeting to order. Roll call, please, Lisa.
Mrs. Slipper?
Here.
Ms. Burnett?
Here.
Mr. Amato? Ms. Chapman?
Here.
Mr. Merritt?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Dr. Pickering?
Here.
Mr. Rose?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Okay, let's stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make note of executive session August 22nd, 2022 for contract negotiations and September 12th, 2022 for contract negotiations and personnel. At this time, is there any public comment regarding the agenda tonight? Okay. Then we will move on to student representatives. And first is Cochranton Junior Senior High School, Marley Rodax and Kendall Rose.
Hey, good evening. Everything's been off to a great start this school year. Our football team has a record of 1-2 with a win in overtime against Sagertown, and they're going to Merthyr this Friday. Our girls volleyball team is undefeated against 5 teams, and they'll play Youngsville and Iroquois this week. Their dig for a cure match against Maplewood is scheduled for September 27th. Our marching band went to McDowell on Saturday and won first place in their class and first place overall. They'll be competing at Bradford this weekend. Student Council is planning the homecoming dance for October 1st. We're going to be doing Spirit Days the week before homecoming, and the cheerleaders will organize the pep rally on the Friday before. And we have a new vice principal and athletic director this year. Mr. Cower has already made a huge effort to connect with the student body, and we're really excited to have them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Meadville Area Senior High School, Lisa Murphy and Anthony Santiago.
Hello everyone, I'm Anthony Santiago.
And I'm Lisa Murphy. The school year started off strong. On the first day of school, we had a reboot day organized by Link Crew. The sophomores, juniors, and seniors got to listen to guest speakers and had military recruiters there as well.
The freshmen had their freshman orientation run by Link Crew while the reboot day was going on for the upperclassmen. National Honor Society, Key Club, and Student Government all had their first meetings, and the other clubs are organizing themselves as well. Fall sports season is in full swing.
Our football team is undefeated with an away game with our rivals Cash this upcoming Friday. The band will be traveling to support our team. Hopefully we see you there.
Other than our football team, both girls and boys soccer have started their seasons with new coaches and have found success of their own. Boys and girls golf have began, and with young teams, they've done well.
Girls volleyball, also with a young team, has done very well. Boys and girls cross country have both also started their meets planned for the next few weekends.
Student Government's fall fundraiser is in full effect with the sale of Bulldog Nation t-shirts. We hope you order yours. Thank you for the opportunity to inform you about the happenings at MASH.
Thank you. And Meadville Area Middle School, Natasha Mauser.
Hello. We had a great start to the school year. All the students are transitioning nicely to the new school year. Our Mams Fest open house will be tomorrow from 6:30 to 8. Parents will have access to food trucks and music from 6:30 to 7, and then meet teachers from 7 to 8. The Mams football team is 2-0 this season. 40 students are on the team. The 7th graders play their first game on Tuesday, September 20th, at Fort LaBeouf, and the 8th grader team continues on Thursday, September 22nd, at home against Walnut Creek. The final home game of the season is on October 6th against Seneca. In student council news, we had our first meeting last week. We will be having our first dance on September 30th. The Mams cross country team has 13 runners, 3 girls and 10 boys. The boys team earned first place at their first 2 invitationals due to hard work and their tight pack of runners. If we can stay humble and healthy, it looks to be a successful season. The girls cannot compete as a full team because 5 runners are needed, However, they are all working hard to improve individually, and as a team of 3, they will compete this weekend at the Blue Devil Invitational. The Mams girls basketball team is 8-0 to start the season. We have defeated Sagertown, Cambridge, Jamestown, Union City, Conneaut Lake, Crockerton, Oil City, and Common Road Perry. The girls are playing amazing team basketball and having fun. We play this week versus Youngsville at home tonight and 2 away games versus Eisenhower and Conneaut Valley. Season goes on until October 20th. The Martin Luther King After School Mentoring Program started last week. The students are excited to begin their experience.
Thank you. Thank you to all our new student representatives this year. So we'll move on now to approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following minutes. The regular board meeting of August 22, 2022, and the Committee of the Whole meeting of September 12th, 2022. And I need a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Jeff. Where's the second? Kevin? Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Polly, extracurricular, please.
Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the Meadville Area Senior High School Wrestling Team to travel to Burgettstown, Pennsylvania on January 13th through the 14th at a cost to the district for transportation. I so move.
In a second.
Second. Kevin.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Delwood, transportation, please.
Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the 2022-23 transportation routes for Girardi LP and GG&C Bus Company. And there's several attachments there if you'd like to take a look at that, and I so move.
In a second.
Second. Kevin.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Finance, Jeff Rhodes, please.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following financial activities: the Treasurer's Report for August, financial statements, and the payment of bills, and I so move.
Second? Thank you, Melissa. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to personnel. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following Pennsylvania School Board Association officers for 2023. Michael Gossert, President-elect; Allison Mathis, Vice President; Kathy K. Swope, Insurance Trust Trustee; and Roberta M. Marcus, Insurance Trust Trustee. And I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Evan, in a second.
Second.
Jeff, thank you.
Can I just ask one question?
Yep.
Is it worded right? Because we're not really approving, we're voting for those. Am I correct?
You're correct, yes.
So it would not be, so we are hereby casting the ballot for those positions?
We can amend it.
If you could amend it to that, because they really have not been approved yet or voted in.
We need to, is that an official amendment?
Is that a motion
Yeah,
to amend?
yeah, let's make that,
So the motion is
It's
Kevin again?
amend to voting versus approves.
yeah,
All right.
just change that one word.
Any questions or comments?
We need a second on the amendment.
Okay, we need a second on that. Jeff? Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So we need to reread it, and be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby votes for election the following Pennsylvania School Board Association officers for 2023: Michael Gossert, Allison Mathis, Kathy K. Swope, and Roberta M. Marcus. And I need a motion.
So moved.
Kevin, in a second.
Second.
Thank you, Melissa. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the first and second reading of job description 26-3 for a health room aide. And I need a motion.
So moved.
Kevin, in a second.
Second.
Who was that?
Brian.
Brian, okay. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Be it resolved that the board, do we need to wait on that
President,
one?
what I think we should do is,
Wait,
let's finish
we'll
the
move it.
rest
Okay.
of the
We'll go back.
agenda.
Okay.
And go back to that.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following personnel schedules: A, C, D, E, G, H, I, and I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do we want to go on to
Well, I think
the next?
I'll ask the solicitor, can we go to public comment at this point while we still wait?
Okay.
Why don't we go to public comment then?
Let's move on to public comment. I will go down through the list as they signed in to speak. Alan Schaefer, please come forward and tell us where you're from, where you live.
Thank you. Meadville, 5th Ward. I've been here once before. I've made some dire predictions and tried to reinforce the concerns of bus drivers. If you're hoping I'm back to say I was wrong, sorry. I really wasn't wrong, and I know the recent newspaper article appears to say otherwise. It claims that things are the same, normal growing pains, etc., as we've had in years past. That's simply not the case. We've had some preposterous things happen this year that frankly have only been averted as full-on catastrophes because of the Hubbard bus service prior contractor who you replaced. By that, you'll hear from other people possibly, but I'll tell you the first day of school, 2 days before school, a lot of us came out of retirement so that we could come help with this and avert that crisis. As it stands now, a minimum of 11 of the 19, so more than half of the drivers for the CDL, for the big buses, are being provided by the company that you excused. So just, that's one thing to put in perspective. There's a lot of other things that have happened. Some of you are aware of them, some of you aren't. If you're a school board member, maybe you haven't had the direct channel. You need to talk to GD&C. You need to talk to Hubbard. The last time we were here, there was this remark made by several board members that that they had met with Jeff, and this simply never happened. He has yet to meet any one of you. He did, however, obviously meet with Mr. Washington and, transportation director and so on, so I assume that was what was being said, but indirectly. However, I would suggest it'd be really great if you actually talked to the man. You could learn a lot and you get it firsthand instead of coming from somebody that's hearing it and repeating it. That said, some of the other problems, just quickly to note, we've never had, it is not business as usual, in all the years you were with him, you never had a first day where 2 routes simply were not run. The school district was apparently not even informed that they weren't going to be run. And had it not been for additional drivers from Hubbard Bus to fill in those gaps, they probably still wouldn't be filled, because to this date they haven't filled any more, to my awareness, any more of the positions. And I say this because Hubbard keeps getting more and more. We also get all their substitutes. Every time someone calls off, all of West End, there was only 1 driver that was left over from before. So they were, maybe the worst, the hardest hit. If it wasn't for us, there'd be 6 buses that aren't running out there. Enough said on that. You got to do your own research. I just want to make sure you know that you may not be getting the whole story from everybody. I'd like to know whether anyone has got a plan from GG&C. They didn't seem to want to even speak to the press when they talked with Mr. Washington. Maybe that's changed since, I'm not aware of it. I'd like to know whether any of you have. If not, I'd like to make sure you do talk to them and find out what their plan is.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Your time is up. We would respectfully ask you to finish up.
No problem. The biggest thing I want to make sure I mention here is that this is all going to come to a head. All you've done is kick the can down the road until January. As one of the drivers that will not be available, I can tell you I'm not the only one. So, you've got a contract through GG&C with Hubbard Bus.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Thank you for giving me that extra couple of seconds there.
Ladies, you'll Lindsay? Again?
Good evening.
Evening.
I'm again Lindsay, and I am currently employed by Hubbard Bus Service. I'm going to go back to the March 2022 meeting when a contract was awarded to GG&C. One board member asked the question, what would happen if GG&C failed to meet the contract? And the school's attorney sitting right here says we can and we will sue them. Okay? So, I'm going to read a couple things from the School Bus Transportation Service Agreement. The contractor, during the term of this agreement, supply and maintain such school buses There we go. How's that? Can you hear me? Can you hear me up there? All right. Where was I at? I'll read over. Contractor, during the term of this agreement, supply and maintain such school buses in quantity and capacity and personnel as are required to fulfill district needs for transportation services as described in the bid specifications and contract proposal. That was section 2.1. The next one is section 14. Contractor shall employ a sufficient number of qualified drivers and support personnel to assure district of continuous, reliable, safe, and on-time service. Well, as you can see right now, as Mr. Schaefer said, that since Hubbard is running, Jeff McFadden is running 11 out of 19 bus routes, big bus routes. GG&C is in default of their service agreement. Right now, as I'm talking, there's a Hubbard bus driver and a Hubbard bus in Youngsville, PA, transporting the girls' soccer team because GG&C could not do that because they did not have a bus or a bus driver available. Another default in their service agreement. So I'm going to tell you that Jeff did not have to do this. He did not have to subcontract. He did not have to do this for GG&C or for Crawford Central. Jeff did this for the citizens of Crawford Central School District, the kids and their parents, so they would get an education and get to school. So I am wondering when and if the lawsuit paperwork will be filed, since GG&C is at default in a few areas on here, default in the agreement, or is this just going to be swept underneath the rug? So I have to say, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is Amy Oviatt.
Hello. My name is Amy Oviatt. I have 3 kids in the district here. I had spoke at the last board meeting about a concern with the Meadville High School and middle school not having working phone systems. And I was also told it was getting worked on. They're still not working. My daughter had to go to the nurse, and she had to run back up to her class to run back down to the nurse, even though she was sick, because the nurse couldn't call to her teacher through the nurse's room to her teacher's classroom inside the high school. If there is an emergency, nobody can pick up that phone and dial 911. If there is an emergency and they need help with another student, they cannot pick up that phone and call the nurse's office. They cannot pick up that phone and call a classroom that's close by or a certain teacher to come down and help in that classroom. I've looked through the payments that have gone through the last couple months, and I saw nothing going out that would be used to fix the phone problem. I heard Cochranton had a phone issue and it was fixed. I'm happy for them. I wish they would fix it at high school and middle school as well, because it's been out since last year. I also looked through the agenda, never saw anything on it to vote to fix them or to get a bid on them. I did see a rebidding. The district phones with specifications per building is on the one for today, but that's just for use per building. So like for the middle school, elementary schools, their specifications would be voted on, I guess, for use. After what happened last year at Erie High School, and as a parent, this is extremely alarming. And it's terrifying that they would be left unusable and without a reliable source to call for help in case of an emergency. You want to tell our kids to leave their cell phones in the locker. I agree with that, by the way. But until there's a reliable source for help, my child will not be leaving their phones in their locker. Thank you.
Next is Monica Hargenrader.
Hi, so I had been asked to come and speak on behalf of a MASH student. They had an appointment in Erie and was unable to make it. So they sent me what they were going to use as the basis for their speech, so please bear with me as I try to go through their bullets here. So they did address the start time. They indicate even with the additional time that had been provided, they're still struggling, and see many of their peers are still struggling to be able to get to their lockers, use the restroom before class starts. They're requesting maybe that be addressed, as well as the transition time between classes. They're being given 3 minutes. This individual stated that as a female student, we would require a little bit more time to use the restroom, and especially with the new policy being that students are only allowed to have 1 bathroom pass per class per week. This is a little bit limiting, especially, I mean, if I were in this school, I would have a hard time going within those restrictions, if I'm being honest. It continues on regarding lunch. Apparently the lunch was also adjusted to accommodate 3 periods. It's my understanding that MASH has a very large student body compared to Cochranton, so I'm a little ignorant in this topic, I guess, but they have 3 lunch periods like Cochranton with 30 minutes each. Once they get through the line, get to the classroom, they're indicating they only have about 15 minutes to eat. They feel slightly rushed. And unfortunately, I do need to go back to the mornings whenever their students are not allowed to be into the school just yet because the doors haven't been unlocked. They're questioning whether this is going to be happening in the winter. Are students going to be made to stand outside in the winter? She did send me a picture. It's quite a bit of congestion at those front doors, and it seems like once the kids are let off the bus, that would probably be getting worse. So if we're all standing outside in the cold in the winter, I would imagine that's going to be quite uncomfortable. And as stated, they just don't feel that there's enough time in between these class periods for lunch. And I didn't know, and they are requesting maybe an evaluation, possibly take a couple minutes off of classes, add a little bit. Maybe we could just have like 1 transition time between classes be a little extended to offer some restroom breaks, something like that. Just maybe use our creativity and come up with some ideas here to assist the students a little bit more. Thank you.
All right, is there any other public comment? Okay. We need to take a recess?
Executive session or a reset?
No, just a recess.
A reset.
Yeah, so can I explain to the public what's going on?
Yes.
All right, we're going to have to take a recess because the reason is we're waiting to hear from the teachers union about them voting on the contract. So we can't approve it until they do. So we're waiting, I've been waiting for a text from them to say, you know, did you ratify it or not? So at this point, what we have to do is take a... Hang on a second. So
sorry. Can you finish, and then I'll take the public comment?
Okay, so I just got word that they have ratified it. So we can move forward.
Well,
Let's move forward with...
Finish the public.
I think there's a person who want to talk about public comment.
Yeah, okay. Come forward, please.
Hi, my name is Linda Bush. I am a senior citizen. I live at the Connect 55, which is at the top of Pine Street. It's the old Talon building that they have developed into senior housing. We would like to let you know that they're raising our rents at our next lease time $300 to $400 a month. Now, we are aware, you're like, well, what can we do about that? But we're aware that you have given Calamar, which is the company, it's Calamar/Well Tower now, that you've given them a tax break for several years. We don't know if there's anything you can do to look at that because of what they're doing to the senior citizens there. We are taxpayers. So that's what we're asking you to do, is to look at that to see if there is something you can do to give Calamar some leverage. We have done several things, and at this point, nothing has worked. They're not willing. We're willing to negotiate with them. They are not. So we don't know if that can help us get some leverage so that this does not happen again and prevent it from happening now. Thank you.
Yes?
Yes, my name is Bill Holman. I'm also a senior citizen at Connect 55 Pine Street Commons.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name. What was it?
Holman, Hohmann. As Linda has stated, they've raised our rent 30 to 40%. We have been to the county commissioners, which of course, because Calamar is a private entity, they can't do anything but support us and say, we'll do what we can. We've been to the city council, we've been to Senator Brooks, we've been to, or worked with Crawford County United and Pennsylvania United. We had a rally August 13th at Diamond Park, and we've tried to negotiate with Calamar Well Tower, which is out of Wheatfield, New York, near Niagara Falls. We all sold our homes thinking that this was a great thing. We all were productive professionals in our own fields, in the community, in our own communities, and this was going to be a great place. Out of 128 units that they have potentially in the future available, right now there's only 36 available. Of those 36, there may only be 32 at this point, because people have been forced out. You know, the standard Social Security check runs anywhere from $1,200, excuse me, to $2,500 a month. You know, and maybe we have an annuity or an IRA to supplement that. You know, and they want to raise our rent, say, from a 600 square foot apartment, 1 bedroom, for $900, it's going to $1,230 a month. Other ones, 2 bedrooms, maybe you may have started at, you know, $1,200 to $1,400, and we'll be going up to $1,800 to $1,900 a month at the time that they do their lease. Now, we know the tax breaks that were given by the county, but the largest portion, according to the county commissioners, is the school board. 52% of the LRTA is from the school board. As Linda said, there's maybe nothing you can do, maybe there's nothing you want to do, but these are the seniors, and if I've stated in my letters to the county commissioners, to the state attorney general's office as well, that we're seniors, we've been productive citizens of the community. This can happen to you, to your parents, to your children, and to your grandchildren if something isn't done. You know, there's got to be some recourse that we could have. And if not, then, as one gentleman said here, move out. As our vice president said the same thing. 2 vice presidents said the same thing. Just leave. Well, this place it's a very nice place. And families have gelled as a family and as friends. And we are being broken apart, and this whole thing has been devastating to our community. So I thank you.
Thank you. Is there any, okay.
Hi, my name's Joe Tompkins. I just wanted to provide a bit more context as far as the Connect 55 Kalmar situation and the role of the school board. According to newspaper coverage anyway, I wasn't at the meetings, I believe that the original LERTA agreement that the school board had, that the county commissioners had, that the city council had with Kalmar, under that original agreement, the construction was supposed to be completed in October of 2020. And then I believe it was about around the time 2 years ago, September 2020, that the school board passed a resolution to extend the LERTA for an additional year because construction had not yet been completed. So, in other words, it required the board and the county commissioner and the city council all to pass their own resolutions to extend, to give Kalmar 1 additional year to complete the construction in order to qualify for that tax break. As far as I know, at least what we know from the county, is that the LERTA started last year, 2021, but correct me if I'm wrong, folks, the construction has still not been completed. So it's strange that you had to pass a resolution in order to give them 1 more year to finish the construction in order to qualify for the tax relief. Construction is still not complete at the building, and yet they're now getting the LERTA tax assistance. So anything you could do, like I think Bill's point about and Linda's point about giving them some help, the best thing you could do to give them some help is to maybe find out why it is that they're getting this tax break despite the fact that they haven't completed construction on the building. And if there's anything you can do to nullify that, again, that would probably give them some leverage, because I don't know why we're giving them, I think we've estimated around $600,000 just your portion of the tax relief over that 5 years of the LERTA. Between the county and the city, they're getting about $330,000 over 5 years in tax relief. You guys are, again, twice the size in terms of your taxing authority, so assuming you're giving them about $600,000 in tax relief. They're getting overall about $1 million in tax relief, even though they haven't finished the building, and they're still raising the rents 30 to 40%.
Okay. Any other public comment? Is this again on the LERTA?
Yes. It's on Connect, excuse me.
Do you have something else in addition to share with us?
Well, here's what I want to tell you. I talked to the vice president myself.
I'm sorry, ma'am, could you identify yourself, please?
Oh, I'm Joanne Dunlap, Connect 55. I talked to the vice president myself, and he stood in the social room and said, in so many words, said to all of us, you are going to help us finish this building. They also sold 25 units for $174,000 apiece. So I said to him, if you made that much money, why aren't you taking that money and paying for this? Why, as we as seniors, have to pay for your building? And that's another thing. You people are giving them a break. You need to look into that, because that's not right to us. We've sold our homes, we've worked all of our lives to go to somewhere to retire, a nice place like this. And they're getting a break, they better start giving us a break.
Is there any other public comment? Then we are going to move back to the resolution for the Education Association Collective Bargaining Agreement. Be it resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the collective bargaining agreement with the Crawford Central Education Association effective August 29th, 2022 and expiring on August 29th, 2027. And I need a motion.
So moved.
Kevin, in a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeff. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'm going to jump back. Administration, Tom, Mr. Washington?
I just want to say, you've heard a lot from the students about some of the start to the school year, some of the link crew, some of the things that were done differently this year. They had orientation and things of freshman orientation. We had guest speakers in, went very well. So I just wanted to point out some of those things. We've been fortunate enough, we've been selected for the third round of Connect, what is it called, Ann? Emergency Connect funding, which will allow us to apply for computers, which we will be able to replace some of our computers through the grant. So we feel fortunate about that. We had a good keynote speaker, Dr. Katie Martin, that talked about how education is evolving and what it will look like in the future. So, but I just want to also say to some of the building and grounds people what a good job they did over the summer and getting the buildings ready. So that's basically what I have to say.
And if there is no further business, is there any comment from the board? Okay, being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 6:06, and I need a motion.
So moved.
Evan, second?
Second.
Thank you, Brian. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.